I'm sorry, you're fired. Get out of here. Right?
Yo, what is going on with you guys? Make sure to hit that like and sub button. We got another story time. I know y'all love these stories, so I'm going to keep them coming. So, in the summer of 2015, I was working 3 jobs. And one of those 3 jobs, I was working as a valet driver. My boy was working this valet job, and he told me to come join him. He's like, yeah, man, I'm making $1,400 every 2 weeks, and $400 of that, $1,400 isn't even taxed. It's tax free. I'm like, all right, bet. I apply, interview, get a job because I'm great at job interviews. You know how I do. So I start, right? Everything's going great. We're having fun, parking cars, just chilling, right? So I'm sitting here, driving, parking. Things are getting great, going great. I'm getting used to it. So it's towards the end of the day, and I had to park what they call an irregular sized vehicle, and it goes inside the e-reg lot. The reason why it's called an irregular sized vehicle is because the vehicle's either lifted, it's either a big diesel truck, or it's just so extremely massive like a Hummer or something. It has to go in a special lot. That way it doesn't scrape the roof, and it's not around other vehicles that are a lot smaller. It's literally designed for extremely large vehicles. So, I'm on my 4th week here. We're not supposed to touch any e-reg vehicles for the first 2 months. Week 4 roll around. It's towards the end of the day. It's just me, right? So I gotta park this. Truck. It was this Dodge Ram 3500 diesel, had the big smokestacks up at the top, and ain't nobody around because before I was just passing the keys off to somebody else. You rotate when you go to park the cars, and normally when it came to me, I would just go next and switch somebody because I couldn't park the trucks. So no one was there. So I go, hey guys, what do? I park the truck, right? Dude in the valet booth is like, hey man, you got that? I know you knew. I'm like, I'm a big dog. I got this. All right, I got whip game.
Cap.
So, I go ahead, everything's going cool. I'm whipping it out the lot, going up the street to the other parking lot up the hill to go park it. I pull into the lot, everything's going good. I go to the parking spot, time for me to back up, right? So I go ahead, I back up. I back the truck in, right? And whenever you park a car, you've also got to go get a car, right? So they give you a car to go park, and they give you a ticket to go get. And both of them were inside this irregular car lot. So I parked this huge truck. Everything's Gucci. I'm good. Hop out the truck, right? The next truck I had to get was a Ford F350. I go ahead, I hop in the truck, start the key. I'm like, oh shit. It's getting wild because I'm like, I don't know if I could do this. So man, I go ahead, I hit the gas just a little bit. I cut it left, and then all I hear is I'm like, what's that noise? And I'm like, I'll give it a little bit more gas. I look to the left in my rear view mirror. The fenders are rubbing together. It sounds like 2 pieces of styrofoam being rubbed together. It was squeaking. It's the noise of their paint rubbing against each other. I was like, oh. And guys, I could not get out this parking spot. So the other dude's like, no. Dude come running. He's like, what have you done? I was like, well, I think I just wrecked the vehicle.
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock.
I wrecked 2 vehicles in one parking section. So they give you 3 vehicles to wreck, and this is in the same week, right? So they're like, all right, we're going to go tell the customer. You don't got to give them the keys or nothing. We'll explain it for them. You're new. You're good. You're cool. We might send you home early, right? So, okay. I get sent to the office. Let's talk to the manager. I didn't get sent home early. I didn't get fired. They just let me finish my shift. They told me, be careful. Don't park no more irregular vehicles. I'm like, all right, cool. I want to park them trucks anyway, right? So then, 2 days later, 2 days later, I'm parking a car, right? They're like, hey, I need you to go park this car. I think it was like a Chevy Impala, and then I want you to go and pick up this this Ford Expedition 2015 XL. Huge SUV. It was just small enough to be considered not an irregular vehicle. I had no business driving this either, but the chances were in my favor. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't that hard. It wasn't an awkward parking spot, and the lot wasn't that packed. It was actually pretty empty. So, I parked the Chevy Impala. I hop in the Ford Expedition XL. I remember it was silver, had these big old tires. And so, I'm turn the key, I come out the parking spot, right? And there's these giant pillars that you have to go around. Normal, everyday stuff. I'm driving around these pillars. all the time. I ain't even tripping, nor am I nervous. And when I wrecked the trucks, I was nervous from the very jump, but I was confident, driving this Ford Expedition. So guys, I go around the pillar. I cut it way too early and didn't swing out before I cut it. Guys, this is the pillar, this is the vehicle. I go to cut it, I gouge the entire right side of the vehicle. So much so, the truck is up in the air on two wheels, and I'm like this. And all I hear is, it was like that SpongeBob episode where he's like, you're dead,
And stop.
it sounded just like that. So, at this point, I'm sideways up inside the air. And I was like, yo, and I'm hitting the gas, and the right side is spinning in the air, and the left side is just pulling forward. So the manager had went ahead and told me to hop out the car because I was about to put this thing on the side. And then he was like, yeah, man. He's like, this time, unfortunately, I cannot explain this to the customer. You gonna have to, because this is kind of crazy. And they just watched you do that. So I can't hide you like I did last time because you were in plain sight. So he's like, you're going to have to swing that back around. So eventually they get the vehicle from in the middle of the air from being sideways, and they told me to go ahead and to give them the keys after they hand it to me after they're done parking it. So they pulled the vehicle out front, and he hands me the keys, and I had to go talk to the customer in the lobby. And the car came around, and I came out from the side, and I was like, sir, I apologize. I wrecked your vehicle. And there was this nice senior couple, and he's like, what did you say? Brand new car. He's like, that was brand new. He had a hat, threw it on the ground. He's like, God damn it. He's like, oh, you're going to pay for this. I was like, sir, we have insurance. He's like, oh, I got something you can insure. I mean, I would have whooped him in that lot, to be clear, you know what I'm saying? There ain't no hoe in me. He ain't putting his hands on me, but he was definitely mad. Rightfully so, right? So after that, I got fired. They had to get me up out of there. And yeah, man, I got fired at this valet job after working there a month. The best money I ever made, because I was working 3 jobs. I was probably making at least like $2,800 to $3,000 a month after taxes. That was a lot for me at age 19. That was a lot. And that was back in 2015, because you got to think, inflation made that not a lot of money right now. But yeah, it was definitely a good summer. I did get fired. Had to get me a new job to replace that one. But I had 3, so I wasn't tripping. But yeah, man, that's how I got fired from my valet job, dog. Your boy can't park. I should have been out of there. I was burning clutches and manual vehicles. I was burning up clutches on stick shifts. It was real bad. But hey, man, that's how I got fired from my valet position. Let me know if you guys like this story. Thanks so much for watching. Don't let nobody park your car at valet stations.